We got a few fights happening this week.
Mm-hmm.
And some weird inconsistencies happening this week as well.
Yeah, no kidding. So strange.
Very strange. Hello, welcome to this week's episode of Jared Now Watch Inuyasha is episode number 77. I'm Jared, joined as always by Doc Howe and Ladium.
Hello, hello.
We are discussing Season 3, Episode 22, or Episode 76, entitled Target, Sesshomaru and Inuyasha.
Inuyasha.
They are targets.
Yeah?
They are targets.
Sort of.
Sort of, yeah. So we kick this episode off. Kagome's in prison.
Yep.
And there's some weird eyes behind her, and she doesn't know what to think of them. Inuyasha breaks the barrier, as we saw at the end of last episode that he was going to do, and then, hey, it works. The Red Tetsaiga
Red.
does his job.
Yay.
Does what it's supposed to do.
Yay.
Koga just runs in, and then Inuyasha, all of Inuyasha's pals show up, and they're like, hey, we should go as well. And that's where they go. They arrive in this village. It's very empty, so they're very confused. Like, it's empty, but like there's signs that people have been living here. So like it's very odd that like no one's here. And then the cats show up, and then they decide to fight. Go blah 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 blah.
They're just like chilling on the roofs.
Yeah,
the roof.
They get led into a trap where it's like these houses have like smoke bombs just in them, and they zap Inuyasha with this power until Sesshomaru shows up and is like, hey, what's up? I have business here. We had to fight. Anyways, hello.
Hello.
Inuyasha's like, what do you want? Like, get out of here. You're not wanted here. This isn't your fight. He's like, what do you mean? This is my fight too. Hachi shows up. He brings Miyoga, who's like, and Lord Inuyasha, I would like to tell you about the past, about how your father fought the Panther demons and everything. Essentially, Inuyasha and Sesshomaru's dad fought the Panther demons and beat them up.
Mm-hmm.
And then they decide, hey, we hate these dogs, so we're going to spend our life vowing revenge against them. Because they're stinky and we don't like them. And they beat us up.
I spent like the entirety of this episode being super confused until like I realized there were two battles that they were referring to. This is the first battle.
The first battle. And then there's a second battle afterwards.
But even then, there's still one inconsistency that makes zero sense.
Yes. Miyoga leaves. He just ditches them, of course, because that's what he does.
I'm out of here. Danger.
Koga is lost in a forest with his pals, and they meet Ryokan, who's like, hey, you with Sesshomaru? And Koga's like, I don't know who that is.
I don't know that guy.
And Ryokan just kind of like gives them the deets of like, oh, this was I fought with Sesshomaru during the last time the Panther demons showed up, so I want to fight with him again and everything. He's like, okay, cool. Anyways, Sesshomaru and Jaken fight the Ice Lady, and Inuyasha fights the Fire Lady again. They're just having their own separate fights and everything, and everyone kind of gets split up at one point during the fights. Koga and Ryokan meet up with the Flower Lady. Have a little fight there, and they get confused with the scent and everything.
All it smells like is flowers.
Yeah. Moroku and Sango get captured. They get thrown in jail with Kagome, and then Kagome's like, hey, look here. Here's all the villagers. I found them. They're in here as well, and they got captured.
I found them.
Jaken's just running around trying to find Sesshomaru, and then he runs into Inuyasha, and Jaken tells Inuyasha the story about the fight that happened 50 years ago that Sesshomaru was a part of when he fought the Panther demons while Inuyasha was stuck in the tree. So it gives him a little bit more context and everything.
He's like, oh man, you didn't come because you were under a spell. And Sesshomaru's like, man, my dumb brother falling for a human. This is what he gets. Now he can't help me. This is dumb.
Dummy.
Is that also when Jaken like comes in clutch and helps out, or is that the next episode?
No, that's the next episode.
Oh, okay.
They talk about how like the villagers were living in like a hidden village, so they just lived in peace, and then the Panther tribe came up and was like, hey, this is our village now. You suck. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
And then they're also going to sacrifice everyone in this prison cell to their leader to resurrect them. And they're going to use the jewel shards to do that, along with a human sacrifice.
Ba-ba-bum.
And then the respective brothers are trying to get into the castle at different gates and find themselves against various people in the Panther Demon tribe. And also Koga and his pals are also in a little bit of a tussle as well, and that's kind of how we end this episode.
Everybody's fighting, or about to fight.
Everybody's fighting, that's true. Let's talk about the errors and notes in this episode.
Okay.
During the Panther King and Great Dog Demon fight scenes, while the Great Dog Demon's army and the Panther tribe observe, the horn on top of the Panther King's head is missing.
Whoops.
This is the second episode of the Panther Demon anime filler.
What?
It's ironic that Ryokan is the demon who devours those who become lost in the woods, yet he himself becomes lost in the woods. Ho ho ho!
Nice.
Several discrepancies arise from Myoga's flashback of the Great War concerning Sesshomaru.
Okay, good.
In Myoga's flashback, Sesshomaru is shown in the foreground of the Ino no Taisho's army, despite Myoga explicitly stating that Sesshomaru did not participate in the Great War. Additionally, Sesshomaru is shown wearing the Tenseiga, even though he did not receive Tenseiga until after his father's death, who at the time was still alive.
See, I got all of that right.
Mm-hmm.
I was right when I was questioning the things. I was like, he didn't have that sword. And also, he wasn't there, and I was confused as heck. And I was rightly confused. It wasn't me just being dumb. I'm proud of myself.
Yeah, it was just like a very split-second shot of him just like standing on a cliff, but it's like, that you shouldn't be here. Why are you here?
Like, very explicitly says he did not participate.
Huh? Yeah, he participates in the, like we said earlier, like in the fight that happens 50 years ago. Like, he very explicitly does fight in that, but he definitely would not have been here for this other one, because that was way in the past.
Right. He would have either not existed or been a bab.
Yeah, exactly. Also, in the English version, during the scene in which Ryokan is struck with lightning, the voices for Ginta and Hakako are switched.
Oh. Huh.
So there you go.
How about that?
How's about that? Next time, we'll be discussing episode 77, or season 3, episode 23, entitled The Panther Tribe and the Two Swords of the Fang.
I'm going to close up this anime filler. Well, this arc of anime filler.
Yes, we're going to close up this arc and see how, if Inuyasha and Sesshomaru can work together at all, or if they'll still be little stubborn baby boys.
I truly wonder.
But that's going to do it for this week's episode. So if you'd like more from us, head on over to seasonalanimecheckup.com or sac.cool, where you can find past episodes of this podcast and other podcasts like Seasonal Anime Checkup OVA. You can also find columns and reviews on the site as well. If you'd like more from Anladium, go to anladium.com. She's got columns and reviews. You can follow us on Twitter and TikTok at Anime Checkup, and you can buy our books, One Shiny Moment, A Critical Analysis of Love, Life, Sunshine, and Hot Tubs and Pac-Man on Amazon.com. So join us next week as we find out how the end of this Panther Demon arc is going to wrap up.